On March 28th, Ray Brown lived a parent's worst nightmare. He found his son, 13-year-old Devin, hanging in his closet, a belt around his neck.
I remember seeing the black and blue marks around his neck. I tried to feel for a pulse, couldn't find a pulse.
Brown says his son endured bullying at Rothschild Middle School for months and says students threatened his son for being a snitch after telling teachers about a classmate with a knife. I spoke on the phone today with the Director of Communications for the Muskogee County School District, and she tells me that if Devin Brown's case needs to be looked into, officials will start doing that on Monday when they return from spring break. She says that per policy, if any alleged bullying is reported, it is investigated at the school level. Dozens of viewers have responded to our story. One viewer says, quote, "My child was a victim of bullying at Rothschild this year. The school made promises that they would handle the situation and replace the items that were taken from my son and have not." Another says, quote, "My brother has constantly been picked on at this school too," end quote. And it's not just at Rothschild.
She would walk down the hallway and a group of people would just stop talking and then just look at her and say, you know, you'd hear whispers.
Jenny doesn't want to reveal her last name or the name of her daughter's middle school to protect her daughter. She says the school district wouldn't let her daughter transfer schools unless they could prove it happened.
They said that they would have to make the decision if it was severe enough for her to move to another school.
In Georgia, there's no bullying law, but it is mandatory that every school district have a policy to handle bullying. If a bully is charged with physical assault, he or she would go through juvenile court.
We can put them on probation. We can send them for anger management classes. There's numbers of things we can do with them to try to help them to understand this is not a good thing to be doing.
But what about emotional bullying?
The big problem is, how do you prove it? This is a country of laws, and we can't just say, well, we think this happened or we know it happened. Unless there's evidence, we don't know anything.
For WLTZ NBC 38, I'm Sarah Belsole.